What we're going to do today is concentrate on sharpening our knives. Most of us will have a box in the corner of the kitchen somewhere with 5 or 6 knives in it. Mine has 5 knives and a steel. And we're going to use the steel to sharpen the knives. Worst thing you could do in the kitchen is have your knives blunt. You'll end up causing more damage cutting something with a blunt knife than you would if you just had a sharp knife. Now, you see the knives here? Small general purpose little knives for cutting vegetables, apples, that sort of thing. This one here is your carving knife, longer, thinner blade. This one here is your general all-purpose chopping knife. And there are several gadgets on the market to sharpen these. This one here has 2 little steels in a cross and a handheld plastic thing. And what you do here with this one, put the knife through, keep it straight and draw it along the steel. Now your steels, when they're made, they're forged. They are forged to be harder than your knife blade, which allows you to have the steel and use the steel to sharpen a slightly less tempered blade. So, as I say, there's several methods on the market to sharpen your knives. This one here has a device with two little steels inside the V, and you run your knife depending on the thickness and the size of the blade into the steels and draw it along, and that sharpens the blade on both sides in one sweep. This one here, as we say, is the 2-steeled in plastic. What you do, you put your knife into the gap and draw your knife, keeping it straight, through the steel. That sharpens your blade. This one here also has a fine stone in it. And you can use the stone to also sharpen a knife just by running your knife down the stone. Don't do it 90 degrees, that'll ruin the blade. Angle it to 45 degrees and then angle it half of that again. You want to be running your knife blade down the stone, cutting from the base to the point, keeping the knife reasonably angled at 25 degrees, 25 to 30 degrees, and that will produce a nice edge on your blade. Don't forget to do the other side as well. Using the same angle, and you've ended up sharpening your knife. Now to use a steel, this is your steel, this is your general purpose kitchen knife. Angle your knife 90 degrees, 45 degrees, and then angle it half of that again, so it's about 25 degrees to 30 degrees. Draw the knife down the blade, keeping your fingers behind the guard of the steel. And do that the other way. You don't need to put a lot of pressure and dig the knife blade into the steel. Your blade, when it's forged, is already sharp. By leaving it in drawers or using it in general purpose kitchen activities, most people will probably use it to undo screws, you end up blunting your blade. Now you can regain the sharpness of your blade by using your steels and sharpening these. Now I would recommend daily, whenever you use the knife, sharpen it, or before you use the knife, sharpen it. It only takes seconds to do. All you're doing is running the knife blade at a 25 to 30 degree angle. A couple of times like this will keep the edge on your blade. Now you always see the chefs doing all this sort of fast. Well, that's one way to do it. But if you're not confident, don't do that. You'll end up running the knife into your fingers and slicing you open. These people are highly experienced chefs and have sharpened hundreds of knives in their time. What you want to do is hold the steel at a point down on the block, in this case my chopping board, 90 degree, 45 degrees, about 20 degrees. From the base of the knife, join it down to the point. Base of the knife, down to the point. Base of the knife, draw it down to the point. Don't dig into the steel. All you're trying to do is put a nice edge on the knife blade. Now we're here, running my finger over the top of that blade. I can feel how sharp that is, and you can actually hear how sharp that is now. That's how you sharpen your knives. Easy. Hope this has helped you.